Good evening.
Evening.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for providing this gathering that many of us claim that is so necessary. I want to thank you for coming to hear what life has to say, what life will say all of these times. Not Sebi. I am the least that should be talking about anything that is constructive or productive. I should be the least because I have never been to school. I never go to kindergarten. I didn't go to high school. I didn't go to grade school. I didn't go to college. I didn't go to anything. And I don't read books. I just find that to be very offensive. I do. I'm not talking to anyone else. You see, I need help. I need help more than you. I need help. You see, because my mother and my father ate rice, they ate beans, they ate hogs, they ate lobsters, they ate crabs, they drank cow milk. And one night, my daddy decided to make love to my mommy. My mommy ate the same thing my daddy ate. The rice, the beans, the blood, and the starch. And I stand before you today, a product of that sperm. You think that I'm rock tight? You think that I'm wise? After being born from a parents that ate rice, beans, and blood? No. I need just as much help as you, or maybe even more. Yes, I need help. You see, I need help because I was always wrong. I was the boy that they used to ask, what are you going to do? I don't know. They asked my mother. I never had a father because my father was killed when I was in the womb. I don't know the command of a male in my ears. I never heard the voice of a man in my ears. I only heard the voice of my mother. That voice was more than sufficient. When along from that voice, I didn't hear my children bringing that from the school. They thought about something European, A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, Socrates and Plato. But I never heard talk about anything in the jungles of Africa. And why do you want to hear about something from the jungles of Africa? You see, I make it simple. I always made it simple. But I was wrong. I was always wrong. My friends, when I was 8, brought a book to me with a cow jumping over the moon. His name was Richard. Richard said, yeah, you a dunce. You see, in the Caribbean, those that didn't go to school, we call them dunce. I said, well, why am I a dunce? Because you don't believe that this cow could jump over the moon, and it's in the book, see? It's right in the book. And the little cat would jump over the moon. Have you seen that? Of course you have. So Richard won the argument. A cow could jump over the moon. So I said, Richard, why don't you take a look at the cow across the street? Do you believe that that cow could jump over that fence? The answer is no. So how could a cow jump over the moat? It's in the book. So that's all I heard. It's in the book, and I was embarrassed because I didn't go to school. They made me feel very bad. I didn't go to school, and I didn't want to go to school after a while. And when I grew up, I said one day when I was 14, walking in front of Mr. Wright's house, I'm going to do something that's going to help humanity. And then I doubted that too because I have never been to school, and they told me that the prerequisites in being someone that could afford themselves on something equitable has to go to school. But I didn't go to school, so I have nothing to offer. So I joined the Merchant Marine. I started wiping the engines. And I wiped the engine for 5 years, and at the ending of 5 years, I became an engineer. At the ending of 5 years as an engineer, making a total of 10 years as a merchant seaman, I quit the ships. The captain said, "What you gonna do?" I said, "Captain Freddie, your voice reminded me when I was 5, 6, 7, and 8. What you gonna do?" I said, "Captain Freddie, I don't live like most people with a future. I don't have any future. I never think about the future because I live the future. What am I going to do? I don't know, but I don't even care. Because what's going to be for me, no one could take away." I went to California. I worked as an engineer in the county of Los Angeles, but I was sick. I had asthma, diabetes, I was impotent. I wore glasses, I weighed 291 pounds, and I was very extremely angry. I went to Mexico, I was here in 94 days, didn't have any disease. But the man that healed me brought me face to face with something that I've never heard before. He said, "Where you from?" I said, "From Honduras." "You from Honduras?" I said, "Yes." He said, "You eat bad. You eat rice, you eat beans, you eat chicharrones, you eat cassava, you eat yuca. Do you believe in God?" I said, "Of course I do." He said, "That's your mistake." He said, "Prostitutes believe in God. Killers believe in God. Thieves believe in God. They got nothing because they believe." And as we use the word believe, you're saying that you're uncertain about God because you happen to just believe in God. I said, "Well, what's the next step?" Deliver yourself to God. You got the goodies. Where do I begin? Omit the things that man made and eat only that which God made. So God made everything that's good. He said, "Yes." I said, "You know something, sir? I think that I am the only man on earth that ever made a statement that caused everybody to get upset, but I don't know why it makes me feel so free. You said that God made everything that's good." He said, "Yes." I said, "That is precisely why I love the devil." "Oh, I love Satan." Then he looked at me. "Do you expect a response?" I said, "Well, I don't. Because you said that God made everything and everything God made is good. That's why I love the devil." Well, he didn't give me a response, and that was okay with me, but he healed me. And I began the journey. When I returned to California, I no longer wanted to be the engineer. Because these tubes, these boilers, these turbines, condensers, I want to leave because I said when I was 14 that I want to do something that helped humanity. But I've never been to church, and that is the God in heaven truth. I don't go to church. Not that there's something wrong with the church. There's nothing wrong with school. There's nothing wrong with the church. There's nothing wrong with anything or anyone in my world. Everybody is good. And everything is good. But then I have to live by that which is good that comes from inside of me. And that which comes from inside of me is what I live by. Not what people tell me, not what the book says, is what I feel inside me. So one day I told Gregory, I'm going to cure every disease in the world. He said, man, you are crazy. You better be glad you got this job. Because the chief engineer saw your resume. On your resume, it shows that you've never been to school. I think I see Mr. Sultan. Somebody that I wanted to see for many, many years that I love so very much. And you see, there is Sultan. So anyway, I began to formulate these herbs on what I learned from steam engineering. Thermodynamics. What is thermodynamics? Heat exchange. Latent heat of evaporation, latent heat of condensation, and latent heat of fusion. All that occurs in the human body. But in steam engineering, to prevent the system from clogging, you give it a chelation. But the chelation treatment that we give is one that is made of inorganic and carcinogenic chemicals. They call that sodium phosphate monobasic. And what did I do? I put together sodium phosphate dibasic, not monobasic. Monobasic means that the substance only have one in its structure. God did not make anything with one in its structure. Anything that has life has carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen. There are three right there. So when someone makes a substance that is monobasic, meaning one, it's a poison. Wow. I began to put it into motion. And ladies and gentlemen, I have not suffered an embarrassment as great as this one. When I put the compound together to perform what is known as a chelation, the man that lived next door to me, his name is Mr. Fredericks. He said, I heard that you're experimenting with some herbs. I said, yeah. Well, I'm blind. Could you heal me? That's a Monday. I've been blind for 11 years. I said, Mr. Fredericks, I just made the compound last week, and I'm going to try it on you, the first person. He said, if you make me see, I'm going to give you $1 million. Money has never been anything that I pursued. Money, women, cars, clothes, or anything I never pursued. Doesn't mean anything to me. Women are good because I'm married and I have a wife and I'm supposed to have a wife and get children, but I'm not one to pursue that. Yet I wind up once with 3 wives in the house. Everything happens, right?
First of all, family. I want I want to say something real Queen, because this was the lecture, and I want to bring on my brother because this brother was a part of this lecture. And without further ado, family, since y'all coming in to the 90th birth strong of Dr. Sebi, we got our brother Blue Pill in the building. What's up, Blue?
Yes, indeed.
How you been, brother?
I've been amazing. Yourself?
Wonderful. I know you remember that day, my brother. You remember
Yeah,
that day. That's why I brought you on right when that day we took place in 2019 and on your birthday, on your born day too.
2009.
2009. That's right. 2009.
Yeah,
I got it right.
It was your 14th anniversary on the 14th.
Yep.
It was 2009, and that was a monumental event.
Right.
I debuted Seven Heaven CMOS at that event.
Right. Right.
Brother Polite got his start at that event.
Yes, he did. That's right. That's right.
Yeah, and it was at a historic venue on Utica
and Empire,
right?
Yes, sir. St. Anthony's Baptist Church.
St. Anthony's Baptist Church.
That's right. That was a monumental event, man. And brother, I thank you for your participation, of course, because that was the launching of your new product too, right? That same day.
Seven Heaven, yeah.
Seven Heaven, that's right. The Seven Heaven project.
Yeah.
Pill, I know he was asking for, it was either you or was he asking for your brother? Who was he asking for that day?
That day?
Yeah, because he called out for one of y'all. I think it said Paul. He said Paul.
More than likely, yeah.
Yeah, he was calling for you.
Right.
Yeah, because I know he said, he was looking for you and all that kind of stuff. What was from your perspective, celebrating his 90th cosmic return, man? This is he would have been a 90 to today. What are some of your recollections of Baba Sebi, man? And I see Magella in the back. I'll bring you up in a few, Magella. Go ahead.
It's exactly what the world has got to benefit, as being students in his classroom, yes. Leading up to this moment. And today I was a student in his classroom. So imagine me watching this towering individual with all of this energy and optimism,
yes,
as a child. So I learned fearlessness from him. I learned that, there are no limits. I learned to dream magnanimous, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
He moved on spirit a lot. Like he would get an idea and just start moving and developing on it, even if he would shift from something that he was previously doing, So there was a lot. There was a lot that I learned. There's a lot that I'm still continuing to learn. We can clearly see that his legacy is enduring. You know what I'm saying? He has a level of continuance. Because even looking at the lecture now, I'm like, he was dropping information that works so well right now. But I'm like, in the mind frame of where we were at in 2009, were people really able to appreciate him explaining the molecular structure of why the herbs chelate and do a particular function? And he was a steam engineer, so he understood the aspects of, parts hydrogen. So he was able to look at the body and say, all right, a biomineral balance deals with the proper percentile of acidity versus alkalinity. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. That was a genius observation to put healing into a particular modality where now it seems like, a lot of people are utilizing that logic to make sense of what they're looking at when it comes to healing. So right now we can appreciate it. It's a common conversation.
Yes.
But back then,
no, it wasn't.
Not necessarily. You know what I mean? And he mentioned, earlier this morning I did my sermon, the 73rd one. Yes. And I named this one Herbs Are for the Healing, right? I don't like long titles, so I left it at that. And people can fill in the blanks. Herbs Are for the Healing of the Nation. That's Genesis 1:29. That was the mantra they live by, that they beat the drum to. That's the summary of the mission statement.
Yep.
And that's the language that he had to speak to when he came amongst our people, because the majority of our people that you were going to encounter were going to be Christian in doctrine. You know what I'm saying?
And we did that in a church, remember? And it shook up that church just by him saying he loved the devil.
Yeah, right. So and even in honor of how these things, line up, if you will. Shout out to the brother Panic. May he continue.
I was with him. I was with his wife yesterday. Brother Shabazz came through. He came down.
Oh, okay. So brother
like what?
yeah, he made it right.
Yeah.
So even in the spirit of that, when I was doing my sermon today, and I'm like, the Sebi's the first person that I heard this from before I got introduced to a Bobby Hemmett or a Panic. Right. Sebi was already neutralizing that conversation by explaining to them, I'm the devil, you know what I'm saying? But I'm here doing God work. What's more important, the title or the actual fact that if I'm walking in the steps of who you call a Christ, because lo and behold, Jesus had to have been a healer.
That's right.
Because that's what he was doing in his walks.
That's right.
He only had a mission that lasted 44 months and 4 days. That was his ministry, right? And it consisted of him doing these miraculous healing acts. Yes. And I was speaking about when I had, it was a particular time that Sebi was in town and my mother had an office on St. Mark's. This is probably 2003. Mm-hmm. I had the Aquarian Gospel in there.
Yes.
And I was reading the Aquarian Gospel in regards to the fact that I was studying more science at the time as well. So I was reading the Circle 7.
Right.
The Aquarian Gospel was a lot more instructive in terms of modeling or putting Jesus in the framework of a healer, saying that he was explaining to people the importance of drinking water and eating vegetables. Yeah. And he explained that the demons or evil exists in the abominals of man, right? So it's in the gut. So he was an herbivore. If you're going to be Christ-like, then you have to do as Christ did. And the thing that you can do, the easiest to replicate him is to eat how he ate, because you are what you eat.
That's right. That's right.
So my ministry is in its own way built around that particular precept. And that's just the way that I'm doing the work in terms of proselytizing the importance of minerals. Right. But it's all about minerals. The mission is about minerals. You know what I'm saying? Biominerals.
Yeah.
And there are many of his acolytes that are out there in the world still doing the work. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And shout out to Fig Tree and shout out to Ma'a and the entire intensity of the family that has remained doing the work from one. You know what I'm saying? In the 90th year, yes, I think that it's an amazing thing to see that, he's graduated to become synonymous with healing as a modality, but specifically healing as it appeals to our people. And that's what his intention was to begin with.
And let's get that a round of applause. Let me bring up a female element right now, real quick. My dear sisters in the background, who's always shouting out Dr. Sebi on her platform. I got to bring up the one, the only Magella, Mama Ella in the building. Mama Ella, what's up?
Yes, always.
Always
shouting Dr. Sebi out. Always.
What's up, Magella? How you been?
I'm well.
Welcome to the 90th salute of our dear brother. This would be his 90th birthday.
90.
And the children in the back having fun. Go ahead, children.
He said, "Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!"
They know about Dr. Sebi. They know about Dr.
That they do.
Blue, peace, Blue.
Peace. Let's go with you.
Yo, maintaining, you know what I mean? Being a mother, raising my 2 kings.
Yeah.
Blessed, too sexy to stress.
That's right. And you are, she's the real personification of a person who wanted to take it past just, being in the audience, listening to the information.
Right.
She took a step further and went and started sourcing the herbs themselves, started going and sitting down with the herbalists, started becoming the communities where the herbs are prepared to understand that there's a culture involved.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They brought that back. And we like, Ella is us. If Ella could do it, you know what I'm saying? It's accessible to us all. And I really think that was
Blue, Ella was gangster back then. I gotta always
right. And
what though?
You see, she had to be. So she was ahead of the curve. Because this
Listen.
turned into a cartel business. So you was
Yo.
already on top of it. You like, nah, we running this like the block.
Right. And I still give it up like that. Like,
Exactly.
King Simon, no. And
I love it because, and everybody that's watching, I got Blue Pillar. His link tree is scrolling on the bottom, and of course, Mama Ella's is right there. Her website is right there on the top. So make sure y'all show them love. I got a special guest for y'all at 9:00. I ain't telling who it is, but I got a special guest that's gonna call in at 9:00. So y'all stay locked. But Ella, I remember you coming to the Marcus Garvey Center.
Yes.
She had her pigtails and everything. I was like, what the heck is going on? And her eyes was wide open teaching. Like she stood up and like started doing it. I was like, Jesus Christ, who's this girl?
She came to learn. We seen her when she first came.
She came to learn. I came to learn.
She said her family's from Haiti and Africa. And I was like, what? Oh Lord, oh no. Oh my God. I have to put on my African outfit today to make sure.
Blue, remember when my aunt used to have her meetings like every Saturday
in the loft,
like that?
In the loft,
by LG.
Yep, in the loft. That's right.
Yeah, that was the shit right
she
there.
She cooked food and she had all of that.
She had the food. She had people coming through doing food demonstrations.
Yeah, she was showing you how to put it together.
Put the CMOS together.
That was the CMOS 101 classes.
Yeah, exactly.
We were selling the CMOS, and she came to show people how to make the CMOS.
Exactly.
So everything was synergistically working together. It was a beautiful,
time.
It was so intimate, and the people who came to learn really came to learn. You know what I'm saying?
Came to learn.
Yeah. So
one of the
how that's been helping you, Magella, with your children? How that's been the whole Dr. Sebi? I mean, you studied Dr. Africa, you studied everybody. How's that been helping you with the babies? Just like they was helped, just like Red Pill and Blue Pill and KT was helped back in the day. You raised your children just like they did back in the day.
Listen, my children, when they wake up, like I give them the Maya.
Yes.
So like, I give them the Maya. So I'll be like, you gotta get your syrup. And sometimes they be like, Ma, you forgot my syrup.
That's right.
I'm telling you. The CMOS, they on the CMOS, but like if I try to give it to them raw, sometimes they don't take it. But like I have to, just having the knowledge and stuff that I have. Like even with my kids, my children, like they rarely get sick. Of course they're not that sick. Excuse me right now. They rarely get sick, just like basically feeding them what I know, and not even like feeding them, but showing them.
Yes.
Giving them the Maya. They help me pack my herbs when I have shipments. You understand? So like
getting them involved.
Touching, feeling, talking, all of that. It like by the time these little boys is 10 years old, they're going to be teaching. And they Sagittarius. Both of them.
Yes.
You know that.
Oh, yes, that's right. They Sag like Dr. Sebi.
They Sag just like Sebi.
They gonna talk that fast. They gonna talk
it. And let me tell you something. One of the key things that stood out that I always tell people is that there is a cure for everything. Doctor, like you just mentioned, Dr. Sebi always say herbs is for the healing of the nation. Within every molecular structure of a particular herb, we also have one within us to match that. So the burdock, the dandelion, the casa sagrada, the soursop, all of those molecular structures that's in there, in those particular herbs, matches us too. So these pharmaceutical, medical officials, they don't want to cure us.
No, they don't.
They don't want to give us the herbs. They don't want to do that because clearly Dr. Sebi done proved that he can cure AIDS, cancer, leukemia, freaking what else? Glaucoma. It's very go ahead. It's very simple.
The only problem he had was with ignorance.
Not only ignorance, support.
Was ignorance.
That's what he said.
Not only that, support.
Yeah, the support comes from the ignorance. By people being ignorant is also ignoring.
Yes.
So the lack of support comes from ignoring, because if you knew what the value of this was, like imagine again, you were there initially, right? When we were beating the drum and sounding the alarm. If people understood the importance of CMOS prior to 2020 as an industry, you know what I'm saying? How much more genetically efficient will we have been to make congruent decisions when it came time? Because when you get people in a starved, fear-based state, they're going to make very irrational decisions because, you know, that's just another sign of malnutrition. So they got people at a particular place, like even now, like food ain't been the same for this year. Like just the energy of it, the taste, the texture, it's not nothing that you want to write home about. Like I haven't really had an experience all year. So there's something changing about the food. That's gonna change the whole energy of the people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's the ignorant factor. You know, you can't cure that. Because with all of what has been shown to people, they should know better, even at this point. But they still went back to sleep.
I feel like a lot of people are still addicted to a particular type of food. You know what I'm saying? Where that addiction is going to supersede the holistic view of food and wellness and things of that nature. You get what I'm saying? Like sugar. Sugar is a fucking drug. Straight up. The babies is constantly candied out. Mama got fructose corn syrup in all through the cabinets. Toothpaste full of fluoride or whatever. Like, I don't know. I think that even if you show, especially us black people, because we the one that suffer most from dietary illnesses, even if we show them what it does to us, we will still eat it. And that's right there. That's right there. That's why my kids is on that Maya and that CMOS, because I'm gonna tell you, listen, sons, if you have mucus, your body has been compromised.
Compromised, right.
It's been compromised. Like that's like Dr. Sebi always say, mucus is the root of all diseases. Dis-ease. It's a dis-ease. You're uncomfortable. And so why when we go to the medical officials, they don't say, oh, you got mucus? Why? No, because they want to give you them drugs.
They got a name
want to keep you coming. They don't want to tell you change your diet. You get what I'm saying? Like now I'm hearing that, you know, now people's like, you got to change your diet. Yeah, because that's just like a casual thing that people say now. Like everybody knows food is the root of all, let's say, evil.
Oh, not everybody.
You get what I'm saying? Like
not everybody.
Not everybody yet. No, yeah, they still trying.
Gotta have a balance though with everything. We just have to have a balance.
But let me ask y'all this, okay, family that are just tuning in. We got Mama Ella in the building, and we got Blue Pillar in the building. This is their website and their link tree. So make sure y'all hit them up, show some love, spread love to them. This is the 90th born day of the one, the only Dr. Sebi. Now, from both of y'all perspectives, if he was alive today, we're gonna go to you, Blue. If he was alive today, what would you think? What would you think would be happening today if he was still alive and able to do what he was doing? If you could go there, if you want to,
he would be on par. You know, he would be to our community what Dr. Fauci was to the Matrix.
Wow,
you know what I'm saying? Because he would have had the moments that would have catapulted him to a level of infamy where when the general public got wind of him, they can never get enough of him. You know what I'm saying? He would have worked that stage and that camera and the opportunity to be big on bigger stages. And remember, he had Michael Jackson as a client, so he's not intimidated by anybody's level of stature, what have you. You feel me? He just knows how to operate, you know what I mean, on those particular stages to get particular points across, especially when it deals with establishing rationale. Right. And I think that during that whole period, we just seen a lack of rationale because, you know what I'm saying, it's just certain things that you put 1 and 2 together and that wasn't taking place. So I know that he wouldn't have been silent. I know that he wouldn't have been able to be silenced.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So if he can control his narrative, it would have, the world would have went in a different direction. We would have institutions now because he had ideas and plans. Like the Bolingo initially was about supermarkets. It was about having 50 delis that were outlets for organic produce that was grown, because this is the part that the revolution, quote unquote, will never be solidified and finalized if the food aspect of it is not, you know what I'm saying, totally dealt with.
Right.
It's cool to give people advice. It's cool to tell people remedies, but the biomineral aspect of the body is something that just can't be, supplemented by herbs. It has to be with a consistent diet, because now you're talking about the children. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If you take a Moss, what do they have?
From Magella, your perspective, what you think if he was alive today? What would it be? What would it be like?
I agree with Blue. I feel like Dr. Sebi's name would be more in households, because he would be reaching way more people than he has. First of all, his name is in many people's household anyway. His spirit is still alive anyway. Dr. Sebi is still alive. And rather you fabricate him, you whatever. The main fact that you saying Dr. Sebi and CMOS together in a household is good enough.
Yes.
Like that CMOS, if you're getting that good CMOS, not that traca. If you getting that, not that traca. If you getting a good CMOS, your body will be replenished. Okay. And thank you to Dr. Sebi.
You know what's so funny? His life path is a number 17, which is a legacy leaving number. So he was destined according to his life path. When you add 11 plus 26 plus 1933, it adds up to 1970, and 1 plus 9 plus 7 equals 17, and boom, there's his life path. He's supposed to leave this legacy, no matter where it goes right now. And I was in an Uber yesterday, heading down there, and the guy knew who Dr. Sebi was, because we were starting about the Uber and the Lyft and they know who Sebi is.
He is a household name.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that within itself should be applauded, because it happened posthumous, He wasn't here to guide that. You feel me? It happened after his transition. And it happened in a way in which, you couldn't have scripted it. You feel me? But nonetheless, I think that no one can pretty much control his narrative the way that he did. And that, King Simon, not only, were you able to witness his oratory skills, but you look at his signs and his planets, and if he were here to drive his narrative, all bets is off.
All bets is off.
Yeah, it would have been like Civil War. It should have been crazy.
Yeah. That's why they had to get him. You know what I'm saying? They had to get him.
I feel so.
Yeah. And what's so funny? Thinking about, I was watching a Bob Marley documentary just recently. Just the love that Bob Marley had for the people is the similar love that Dr. Sebi had for the people for his. I remember when I finalized that deal for 2009, I had to go to Sister's place to go see him at a jazz show while he was speaking and teaching over the jazz, because he loved poetry. A lot of people don't know Sebi loved poetry, and he would do healing poetry over the music while the band players doing their thing. It was sold. It was a packed house, sold out. Dr. Sebi on stage performing, not speaking, performing poetry. No,
nice.
So I noticed that. Think about now. Now think about this. Every one of these great people we've known throughout the years, they have some type of musical background. Phil Valentine, Dr. Africa, they got these musical backgrounds. Dr. Africa is a proficient piano player, and flutists and violinists.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
and then Phil can sing, he can play, he can draw.
I would have
Right.
loved to have, yeah.
Exactly.
The album.
I wanted all of them to do a concert. I asked them all. I said, "Yo, why don't y'all do a concert?"
Look, Baba Heru
and Baba Heru.
Baba Heru play all the instruments too.
Yes.
I think I was listening to Bobby the other day say Bobby was saying that he did instruments when he was younger.
That's right.
So
That's what's up.
Can we could have done a concert / election. We could have done a concert / lecture.
Han was a producer. He did beats. I got some of them myself that he sent me.
It would have been tight, man. It would have been tight. But I definitely miss him. Missed them all. Yes. Definitely miss him, man. And remembered his voice on the phone, just talking to me and doing, saying certain things. And that Bilingo project that he had was supposed to be $200 million. He wanted a lot, $200 million. I remember Abundance picked it up, and then she just switched that whole store around into that type of store that she's doing right now. So all the people out there that's doing their work wherever you are in the world, we salute you, but you got to keep up the work. Don't stop with the work. Now, any parting words, brothers and sisters, before I go and bring up some people? I want to bring up some people from the audience, if y'all want, unless y'all want to stay on.
Yeah, I'll stay on for a little while.
Yeah,
until these boys.
The special guest comes up at 9 o'clock.
For a little while. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll stay on with Ella. I'll stay on as well.
Okay, let me see. Let me see if anybody want to come up. Y'all can go ahead and talk. Let me see if anybody go ahead and talk. I'm gonna pull myself away.
Oh, okay. Well, he put himself away. But yeah, 90 if what is it, Born Day or Heavenly Day? That's a very beautiful thing, and we used to, as Black people, we used to live that long.
Yeah, beyond that.
We used to live, and I'm sure if Dr. Sebi, didn't get got, he would have been still living naturally like that.
I have no reason to believe otherwise.
Right.
But nonetheless, it still appears and feels as if, we can't put a number to the magnitude and the impact. You know what I'm saying? It's like no numerical value can capture, what he has offered and given, because in his lifetime, he lived like 5 different lives. And he told you all his stories, and you hear about, his whole lifespan. Like he lived a multiplicity of lives already in this one lifetime. So it was very thorough, it was very complete, you know what I'm saying? And he left something that is lasting, and it's still giving. It's his intentions are still being manifested on this realm, and magnified through a multiple of people. You know what I'm saying? Like when I see Brother Yaki out there, with those packed crowds.
Oh yeah, that brother. I recently heard about this guy. I need to check him out. He's doing his thing.
Yes, very much.
Oh, word, that's what's up.
Yes, he's doing his thing. Those who want to come on, y'all know what y'all could do. I just put the link to StreamYard, or y'all want to call in. I got the number for call in if y'all want to call in and just say something briefly about how Dr. Sebi changed your life, whatever. But we got Mama Ella in the building. We got our man, my brother Blue Pillar in the building. Big up to Trevor Douglas, one of my old partners from back in the day since we was young. He's on watching. So big up to y'all. But make sure if y'all want to come on and y'all want to cam up, y'all can come on and cam up right now. Y'all can come on. I got the live stream, the StreamYard in the live, because 9 o'clock, I'm bringing on somebody who's gonna call in. She's not gonna come on, but I'm gonna call in. But it's gonna be fire, because we're gonna focus. We're gonna focus with her, But one thing watching Dr. Sebi and how he dealt with the sisters, because he always said that the sisters were the healers.
Yes.
He said that, stressed that the women are the healers. You need to respect the women, And have any of y'all seen any other than yourself, Magella? Who are some of the other sisters that you see are doing the work? And about you, Blue Pill, who are some of the other sisters that you see out there doing the work also?
Sister Malika Ali.
Yeah, she used to be in the classes with us. Yeah.
She that's my sister. I mean, that's who else? I mean,
There's a
that's
bunch
the
of
only one that I can think of off the top of my dome. No, from the top of my head, any other sisters?
yeah.
That's the only person that just comes to mind, and I'm pretty sure that there's way more. But
Mhm.
right now, the person that I name is Sister
Yes.
Malika Ali,
Malika Ali, of course,
and her birthday just
Abundance Child
passed.
doing her thing. Her birthday just passed.
Happy
Abundance Child,
belated, Blue.
happy
Related.
birthday, happy belated. Of course, Sister Kafunya is still out there doing her
Cafunia, yeah.
thing. Queen of Four, we can't doubt Queen of Four not
Queen of
doing
Four,
anything.
see?
Come on
Yeah.
now, we Paula Herlock. I just had Paula Herlock on. Iris is still doing his thing. It's just good to see these elders. Dr. Melanie's still doing her thing, and
Oh.
Nadra, she was
Sister
there.
Nadra.
She
who
was
Nadra need to come on and cam up with me one day. She be playing.
Yeah.
she don't want to do no interview. Big up to Sister Nadra all the time.
There's a lot of women in the community, in our community. There were a lot of women outside of our community. There are a lot of women on the online community. There are a lot of women, throughout the world now that we're never necessarily going to get to know everybody's names, who are still doing the work in the spirit of, what they feel the work is at whatever point they encountered the work and chose to pick up on it and do so. And then there's going to be millions more to come. You know what I'm saying? So it's a beautiful thing. And I really think that message, of women having a natural inclination towards healing, I think that's something that organically took on a life of its own. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't even necessarily get attributed to him, but that's what he stood on.
That's right.
You feel me? But, we're seeing it. We're seeing more of it. You feel me? And yeah, we need to see even more of it,
The thing
ahead.
about it is nobody's going to take better care of you than your mama or your grandmama.
Exactly.
It's a fact.
Nobody's going to take better care of you than your mother or your grandmother.
Right.
She's going to figure out a way. She's going to create something to make sure that her child gets well.
Right.
Regardless of what it is. That spiritual instinct that us women have, it's just God's gift, or it's just by divine, that proves we are the healers.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just tap in. A lot of us we can't tap in because we worried about Ray, this nigga here, that person there,
right,
worrying about BBLs and all of that. I need to look like we not tapped in.
Chef Aki, of course, Chef Aki, big up Chef Aki,
Yeah,
my beautiful
Chef
sister.
Aki,
She's doing her
she a
thing.
Pisces too. Yeah.
Who also got tutelage. The sister Chef Vanderpool.
Yes.
Shout out to her for doing the work as well. I was personally introduced to
Vanderbilt. That's right. Vanderbilt.
Sebi. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. That's his girl. Yeah, that's a good friend. That was a good friend. What's up, Monique?
And what you said is right and exact. You know what I'm saying? But I think that's the part that we really have to zone in on and look at, because the next generation of mother and grandmothers, are they going to be able and equipped to do the things that mothers and grandmothers have traditionally done?
Right.
I think that we may have taken that for granted, and we're about to see the first generation of where they're not necessarily equipped to do so. You know what I'm saying? They don't really have it to give because they didn't get the training and the exposure, So it's almost like if there isn't some level of an intervention where healing is taught, healing is incentivized. Like if they find out they could get a check for it,
they'll do it. Yeah,
they're gonna go and learn it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
And shout out to Monique. She just tapped in too.
Yeah. I just put her up. Yeah. Monique got Wayne Chandler coming in on the 16th of December.
Yes.
Ooh, that's gonna be crazy.
Yes.
That's gonna be good. Everybody big up to Wayne Chandler. That's part of the whole LIU crew. And I spoke to Shabazz last night at the Brother Panic event. LIU is coming back, Pamela. He's about to start an LIU.
What? LIU is coming back. Okay. I'm gonna hit him up too.
So look out. He already called me. As a matter of fact, Panic was supposed to be his first lecture. Panic.
Wow.
The Panic was supposed to be his first.
Crazy.
Aleem was there yesterday. Aleem and his wife Khadija was there last night. Then we was partying. I mean, Khadija danced all night. She didn't get off the dance floor. So from the time she got there, she was on the dance floor all night. And I met Panic's sister Reese. Oh, she was such a beautiful spirit. There was her birthday last night too. I gave her a big old hug, man. So of course, Bobby Hemming's birthday is coming on the 28th. And people that's putting out all those rumors about him being dead, Bobby, I talked to Shabazz. He said, no, Bobby is not dead. So please stop saying that. Not just trying to create something. He just don't want to deal with the F-free, the fuckery.
Right.
He just don't want to deal with this no more. He's finished.
The Bobby that we know,
yeah,
that part, that's dead. Not his physical body, like not the physical him. The lecturer him has died. Not the physical him, the Bobby that we know as a teacher, as a scholar, as the person that people want so bad to come back for what if he already left the legacy behind. Just go and on YouTube and you'll find the Bobby that you're looking for.
Shabazz said he's good. He just don't want to come back.
You'll find it. It speaks to the efficacy of who and what Bobby is.
Yes.
Now I wouldn't say is because you can look at a video from 20 years ago and it's speaking about what's going on right now.
We got our brother. Dr. Fatah in the building. What up, Doc? What's up, Fatah? What's up, kid?
What's good?
What's up? How you been, brother?
Busy as ever, healing the sick and the needy and the elders and everybody.
Yes.
Yeah, Dr. Fatah. All right.
I want people to know. I know it's Sebi in a way many people didn't know him.
Right.
And Sebi message was he was the Christ of the Black community. And we tend to forget because today now of social media, the glorification, the alkaline word, the alkaline herbs, the alkaline community. But let me tell you something. When we was in the gully and the mud in Brooklyn, and Sebi, me and Sebi used to be together smoking herb together, eating callaloo green banana. I used to make sea moss and bring for him. We sit down and talk on Flatbush and Atlantic. To be on Ocean Avenue back in the days. People didn't know Sebi lived on Ocean Avenue back in the days. Back then, it was no vegan community.
That's right.
It was no vegetarian community, but 7-Day Adventures, that's what you had. And that was a churchill community. But it was no vegan community. It was just either you eat meat or you don't eat meat. Either you're Rastafari or you Ital. This is what we was. Ital. We was the herbs, the roots. We born in sea moss in big 25-gallon pot and given to mommy, daddy, grandma, the children, the woman coming over. All right, you come over tonight? All right. We know we boiling the roots, we strong back food, we canna root, we sarsaparilla root, we taking care of business. But that was our food. That was our food. So what made Sebi great for the Black man and Black woman was one special element: iron. Iron.
Right.
Iron was the profound impact on a generation of families when it came to healing. Infertility. I was curing my first child mother back 30 years ago. She couldn't make a baby if you could put all the sperm in her. She ain't making no child. She went to a doctor right off on Fulton, and he said she have a special anemia where she can't make children. She came to me crying, this and that. Made special compound for her. Now she got 7 children today. Because of iron.
Wow.
Because of iron. We don't understand. We talking about today, the big words is B12, probiotics, everything else. But we don't understand the impact that Sebi came, that revolutionized America. Nowhere else, America. With iron. That no matter what disease state you was in, we know you was lacking iron because of circulation, oxygen, blood flow. Okay? We knew it that Sebi was up against a machine, a monster.
Yeah.
And he stood ground. He stood ground. He never wavered.
That's right.
He never wavered from the word that the black woman is God, that represent iron, the Ogun, the ancestor Ogun, the Ogun Herbal Research Institution. Blue will tell you,
That's what
he
it was
was the
called.
only one standing ground doing the ancestor work. So when people didn't know what the Horatius was, Sebi was a given Horatia as the Ogun, sharpen iron.
Mm-hmm.
The message of iron. Hence the fact that, you know, they built the Barclays. The Barclays Center is built right on top of where the office was at. And what's the exterior of it? Is it not rusted iron?
That's right.
Exactly, Blue. Exactly.
Is it not rusted iron?
Exactly.
With a patch, with a mound on top with grass? Is it not?
Exactly.
I'm asking y'all because you in Brooklyn.
That's right.
Exactly.
Right.
That's right.
So they literally built the monuments of our ancestors right on top of where the healing modalities, like he said, that changed America came in, because he came in with a pinnacle. 98% of melanated people in this country suffer from iron deficiency. So that's literally the thing that's hampering us. We're the only ones that have sickle cell. Why? Because of iron deficiency. Obviously, right? It makes the cell sickle. So you would think logically, like I said, this is what we're talking about. His ability to cut through the bullshit and bring you logic. You would think that the logical answer is that we need more iron. But where do you get it? And that's where he comes in, because you can't get it from the AMA or what they pumping, because that's iron oxide. They're giving you the pills, and then they're depleting the soil of iron. So anything that's USDA approved grown here, it's not gonna have the content of iron that you need for your biomineral balance.
Right.
So yeah, salute to you, my good brother, for doing your good works in the community.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And Dr. Patel, I just want to, before, hold on, Magella. Dr. Patel, I just want to give him your Instagram. It's Dr. _Patel _Negus. Please hit him up at Instagram. My brother is doing wonderful work all the time. My brother's been around for a long time when I used to do all kind of reggae concerts and shows. So my brother's always working, always working.
I mean, tell them, don't let this good face and dreadlock fool them, you know. Don't let them fool them, you know, because they're going to see good looks and they're going to say, but how he looking so young and nice? What that man eating? I eating tonics and CMOS over 5.5 decades.
Exactly. It's not Noxzema. It is not Noxzema.
You understand? It's not nourishment. It's not soya milk.
Yo.
Richie soya milk. Soya milk was what break down the war between Sebi and Gregory. Because when you remember now, let me behave myself, because I'm an African man and an American experience. So, but remember now, you want to look like this young lady, you want to look like Blue Pillar, you want to look like King Simon, and you better want to look like me. You better have iron in your blood. Iron, get the iron herb. Because let me tell you something, the viruses that killed everybody, and I had to create miracles. Blue Pillar, no, I had to create miracles during that Fashi deceit, that Fashi killing era. It was iron that saved Black America. I could pull testimonies and receipts out of my hand that we cured and reversed people. And that was the perfect ground of Dr. Alpha Roman. If you're not anemic, if your blood is working, your blood is cleansing itself, it will kill infection, it will kill viruses. And Sebi stand under that iron. If you need anything, any sickness, any disease, any malnutrition, you take iron in the highest amount in your chani root, your sarsaparilla root, your yellow dock, your burdock,
blue vervain,
blue vervain, oregano grape. You use these herbs and you use it consistently, because you know what's the problem in America? Why Sebi preach fasting so much? Because we're in a time where now your herbs, the food and medicine. So you're only going to eat some fruits. You're only going to drink a little CMOS. You might have a little salad. You might have a little quinoa and wild rice. It's going to be small, because your herbs is what's going to feed the nourishment of the cells, so your cells can regenerate.
Yes.
The cells can regenerate, because your cells not regenerate, you're not healing. So iron is going to help your body regulate itself and regenerate it on your trillion cells. So iron is the key to the black man and black woman. Because what nobody don't tell you, when Sebi was in Flatbush, it wasn't not only Black America he was healing. The opposite side of Flatbush, who was healing?
Park Slopes. Yep.
Park Slope, the Dominicans,
right.
the white people over there, the white people in Atlantic Towers, Bloomington. So Sebi clientele, his big clientele was Puerto Ricans and Dominicans back in the day.
Yep.
Okay, and that was in New York City. That wasn't in Puerto Rico. It was in New York City over in Park Slope.
In LA, it was the Mexicans as well.
And why do you think when he went to LA, he became so popular? Because he was tapping into a market that nobody was entering into, which was the Haitians, the Puerto Ricans, the Dominicans, the Mexicans.
Latin American TV is what carried the trial and the information. So they had more knowledge about who he was and what his situation was in this country than our people did. You know, the only thing, they might have ran an article saying that he got snatched up, but they ain't running nothing saying, you know, what the results were. But international media kept up on that. You feel me? So he was able to make those inroads, you know what I mean? And again, he says, I'm always going to pay back to the people that quote unquote gave to me. He tells the story about the Mexican. You feel me? So yeah, he, you know, like he said, the brother Paul, with what I read in the Aquarian Gospel, you know, he was a prophet to the people in a time who comes to tell you new dietary rules. That's where effective prophets are going to come and explain to you and remind you what the dietary rules are. Genesis 1:29, herbs are for the healing of the nation, but not all of them, right? And that's where he had to make his distinction to say what the energy signature, right? I'm able to gauge that these are the effective ones because of their iron content and their heat signature, their alkalinity profile, X, Y, and Z. So yeah, man, the brother, he established a whole new paradigm. And, you know, like you said, at a time when other people were pushing a different message that would have not been effective for our people, it would have led us to mucus.
And remember, when Sebi was in Brooklyn, Sebi stood the test of times and was ahead of a time that we in today. Because you remember now, nobody was doing CMOS, it was Jamaican, Trinidadian. That was it.
That's right.
That was it. It was you, and when you buy the CMOS, it was condensed milk, it was cow milk they giving you, and you know what I mean. That's what they was giving you. And when you drinking that, I used to be in my house as a child, and my father, he take all the CMOS and he blend that up, and he said, "Drink that, boy." I said, "What that?" He said, "Drink that," and I drink that up. And then after that, I grew up as a big man, making children all over the place. Big children. My daughter like a big Akeem, a large one. You understand? We raised children on CMOS. All my children were raised on CMOS. My children went from breast to CMOS.
Mine is too.
It was no sip cup. Okay? Right. And one of my children mother, she Guyanese, she said, "You raising the child on CMOS? Where's that? Where thing is that?" And the same woman, I had to heal of hyperactive thyroid with CMOS and black.
Right.
And for the work herb, because she thyroid is doing what? Producing too much seroxykin. So we never overstood and understood how powerful CMOS was as a food for the development of the brain.
As a superfood.
The development of the brain, the skin. Where you see everybody talking about collagen today. What is CMOS? Collagen. What is probiotic and prebiotic? CMOS. So when Sebi came and popularizing that, he lifted up the Caribbean islands. He lifted up Jamaica. He lifted up Trinidad, Grenada, St. Lucia. He lifted up all these countries that didn't have a voice to come and say, CMOS is the way to give yourself your minerals, your essential minerals, your 18 minerals, strengthen your bones, strengthen your brain, your digestion, your skin, your tissues. He gave a voice to the unknown, to the voiceless. He was a prophet in the wilderness that nobody had a voice outside of the Caribbean to stand on 10 toes, square feet, and say, our herbs in Jamaica, our herbs in the Caribbean is used to cure people of these dreaded diseases in America. He was the one saying that. He was the one that came out and said that if if you use the herbs as food, the food will heal you and nourish you. You see, he was the one that popularized us being where we at today. That today you could have an alkaline community. You could have a community, everybody using his context and not rewarding the ancestor in the right way. Because today, everybody jump online and speak what he say, but they didn't do the field work.
They didn't do the work. Yeah, but Brother Patah, I gotta get you off right now. Get everybody. But I want to thank you, everybody. Everybody, hit him up on Instagram, please. Please hit him up on Instagram. My brother is doing it. He's been doing the work for a long time. Thank you very much, Patah, for coming on. All right.
All right.
One love, man. Also, I gotta get everybody. But I want to thank. You want to say one more thing, Magella and Blueprint?
One more thing. You like iron, right? When they were speaking about iron. You know that iron is the best thing for us females because even in the periodic table of elements, it's represented as Fe.
The Fe. Yes, I see
which
that.
Is female. You get what I'm saying? So iron is in fact one of the best mineral for us, especially during pregnancy. So I know the guest is coming on. Thank you for having me. Shout out to Sebi, we love you.
Love him. That's right. Let's give him some love, man. Let's give him. Remember, make sure y'all hit up Mama Ella over there at SamoriHerbs.com. That's SamoriHerbs.com. Thank you, and give those babies a big old hug, okay?
I will. Thank you. So you just press leave, right?
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. But man, Blue,
peace to Ella. Peace to all other guests. On behalf of myself, my family, again, peace, love, and light. Happy born day, happy solar return. Salute and shout out to the entire family. And with that, peace.
Thank you, Blue. And make sure y'all hit him up at his link tree. Thank you, Blue. Take care of yourself. We'll talk, all right? Peace and love. All right, that was Blue Pill. Give him a round of applause. Woo! Now, family, I have a special guest that has to call in. And this special guest is not only one who Dr. Sebi said, when it comes to not only preparing the herbs and healing, it was Pachamama and then it was Ma. So without any further ado, Ma, are you there?
I'm here. It's a pleasure.
How you doing?
It really is a pleasure.
Let me give you a round of applause. We got Ma from Fig Tree in the building. We're gonna put her website up right now. She couldn't come on live, so we couldn't come on the camera, but we're gonna talk about. Let me just make sure your website is running right here with us, Ma. And people who don't know who this sister is, y'all better find out, because when Sebi was doing the talking back in the day, she was doing the cooking. She was one of the major people doing the cooking. And first of all, Ma, how you feeling today? How you feeling?
I feel great. I am very, very thankful to be alive and experience this experience. And I want to greet every listener and everybody with love in my heart. There's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful souls that we need to practice honoring each and every one of us, each of us, to give love.
Yes.
Did you give love today?
Yes. And that's what is important. You hear what she's saying? It's about giving love. We have Ma Bowman from figtreehg.com. That's the figtreehg.com. Let's give her a round of applause. She's in the building. First and foremost, Ma, how you feeling today? How's the family? Everybody's all right on your side?
Everybody is doing wonderful. Just wonderful. Great. You can't say thank you. Thank you doesn't even say how much joy it is to experience life.
Yes.
And love.
Yes. Ma, every time I talk to you, you always bring tears to my eyes, because your voice always brings love to my heart. And when I see you, we embrace, and sometimes you just don't even want to. With somebody like Ma, you don't even. Everybody's sending their salute to you. People are saying they miss you. Nicholas, they doing a whole health series now. They teaching on spiritual stuff. They'd like to bring you in to do a lecture again if you want. I don't know if you're doing lectures, but we're gonna see what happens.
But you have to speak to son.
Yeah, they gotta speak to your son. They gotta speak. Yeah, so y'all heard that, Monique. You gotta speak to Sasa if you want to bring in the one, the only Ma. You know, but and thank you to your son and your daughters and your family, man, for sharing you, of course. And I know since everything has happened over these years, this man would have been 90 years today. Now, from your perspective, what do you think Sebi would have been doing if he was still right here with us? From your perspective, because I know he loved his people so much. Laughing? You said laughing. You said laughing.
Yes, that just came off the top of my head, no premeditated, but that's what he did, is to laugh and to give. He gave so much. He gave of himself, yes, but he gave so much more, because what he gave to us is for us to love ourselves, to care for ourselves, to feel good about ourselves, to feel our self-worth. That's first. That emotion, to balance that emotion and to understand that emotion is part of what created the disease that you may be experiencing, because it comes from a cellular level. That emotion goes in, the peptide carries it, it goes into the cell. The cell, we bury it from childhood on up, these things that affect us. And then the food, we eat the poison food, and then it triggers that particular pathology. It's not solely on just the food. Yes, the food plays such an important part, but it's also our mental, our emotion, our spirit. What did you do to feed your spirit today?
What you do to speak? You hear what she's saying? What it is to speak? You know, Ma. You know, with the, because I know, you know, a lot of people. You know, you and Sebi always spoke about, you know, it's not just the herbs that is fostering the healing, but it's the person's mentality and their love for themselves. Speak on that, please. Speak on that, please.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The one of the quantifiable factors is the toxic thoughts, the acid thoughts. We're talking about acid breaks down and compromises the body. So what about the acid thoughts? The acid thoughts is breaking us down even more than the food. Don't misunderstand me. Don't misunderstand me at all.
Of course.
The food is one of the major parts.
Yes.
But there are other components of this whole thing they call healing that everybody's like doing.
You know,
the healing.
But you know, Ma, in your early times, you know, a lot of this wasn't popular. Now it's become popular. I mean, they got it on television shows. They got people they got it going on all over the world now. But back in the day, it wasn't popular. Now, how do you feel about what y'all have done and many others that have done, but specifically the fig tree from back in those days, and you and Dr. Sebi back in the day?
You got cut off. I'm so sorry.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
I don't know.
No, I said no. I was talking about from back in the days when it wasn't so popular. This whole vegan and vegetarian and eating right and the green life. What would you say now after all this that y'all done? How do you feel about everybody now being into the health kick now? Now they into sea moss, they into all the herbs. After all this work, because y'all was doing some work back in the day. I mean, people got arrested, things got shut down. Come on, let's talk about that, sister. That work, and why is it so important for people to put in that work? Go ahead.
It's to understand. It really is to understand. They're talking about vegan and
yes,
alkaline, but do they really understand what alkaline is? It's the amount of velocity within the cell. It's not just a word. And these trends, they come and they go. Yeah. So these people say, if they say, oh, I'm trying to eat healthy, because it's the thing. We started in the late 60s to 70s, and people weren't talking that way. And it's fun. It's nice to see the growth of us, right, of our people.
Right.
But it's so important, the growth. growing. Sebi was growing.
Yeah.
Forever and ever growing. He's still here. So it's for us now to go past just the word vegan or just the word healing.
Right.
It's love. You can't say it enough. It's love, because we still have the confusion amongst each other. We still don't like somebody or some kind of confusion. I don't live in that world, so I can't even name it. But it's the point now is to grow past that. Sebi's name means forever growing, and he was forever moving forward and growing. And he would, and that's his name.
Wow.
Meaning, but that was the true him. It's forever growing.
That's what Sebi meant. Forever growing.
It means forever traveling.
Forever traveling. Oh, you gave him that name, right? You gave him that name, right? Did you give him that? You gave him the name Sebi. And what made you decide to give him that name? What did you see in him back at that time when you gave him that name?
He was always traveling, and not for real. But he was also traveling eons of years beyond our thinking. You asked the question, what would he do here? It would be beyond all this thinking that we're thinking, and our narrative is still fighting them. And it's to understand them, the other, and to be able to navigate through it, to see it. But don't waste time on the narrative about them. Then you're giving your power away. It's about you. And the healing of you. And to really understand, it's to take the responsibility. I'm not a healer. Sebi wasn't a healer.
That's right.
He's a biochemist. But it's take the responsibility with all due respect. And I send love to everybody and everything that they're doing. But you're not the healer. You are the healer. The person that is healing is the healer. How could somebody outside of you? So that means take the responsibility. Not looking for outside of you, but go within. Take that responsibility. How did I get here? What caused this to be? And to be able to see it from all the aspects, and then be able to take the steps, the herbs, the changing the food. But you gotta go within and know it, because it's you that has to change that eating habit. It's you that has to take those herbs and drink them down, and it's you that the body is healing. And
Ma, give that a round of applause. Hold on, Ma, I gotta give that a round of applause. You're so soft spoken. You're welcome. You're so soft spoken, and sometimes people that are soft spoken, people take advantage. But I know when people listen to you, they have to pull in and listen carefully, because you come from your family from Madagascar, of course. You're from Madagascar, and back in Madagascar, what is the eating habits in Madagascar? I know you've been all over the world, but what's the eating habits in Madagascar? What is that eating habits like?
It's like everywhere else. It's rice.
Oh Lord! Wow.
And meat.
Oh wow.
Because we've been programmed. And I know that's been talked about because Sebi and I talked about the program, but it's so heightened now. It's so visible. If you look all over the world, and we have clients that are coming from all over the world. All over. And I always go into that consultation with, what did you used to eat? So you could identify it, not don't eat. That's like coming in somebody's house and taking all the food out and taking over their house. Like what? No. So I don't go into don't eat. I go into, let's look at what you ate to cause you to be here. How did you get here? What caused you to be here?
Wow. I mean, a lot of people, a lot of people are doing some great work out there. A lot of young people are coming up and they're watching y'all on TV. They're watching Sebi. Sebi's energy is even stronger now than probably even before. Because I remember when I did that.
Very much so.
Yeah, because
it's so strong.
I remember when I did that lecture in 2009 at the St. Anthony's Baptist Church, and Sebi had tried to book a lecture and Dr. Sebi tried to book a lecture in the Marriott like a couple of months before, and then about 10 people showed up because he thought he could just do the same thing that he was doing before. But what I've noticed now after doing that lecture back in 2009 and all the stuff that he's done, and then emceeing that one with Mr. G at the last one at the Masonic Center, people are so enamored by what he did and how he did things. But a lot of people will just listen, Ma, but they really won't put in the work and do the work. What do you say to those people that don't want to do the work? They just want to listen. They don't want to really do the work.
You know what I say?
Yes, ma'am.
I say, do you love yourself? Do you really love yourself?
Right.
So, and I'm saying, I'm not presenting it as work.
Right.
I've learned now.
Okay.
I used to wonder what is to do the work.
That work, yes, right.
I get it now. It's the shadow.
Yes.
Shadow. For the longest, I was like, what do they mean, do the work?
Right.
But it's the shadow. That's part of the healing, to let those veils come over. But you can't do anything unless you love yourself. And really know what loving yourself is, because the essence of life is love. And that's what Sebi gave, is love. And he really gave that genuinely. Even when he was talking, he gave it from his heart. And that's what everybody felt. Isn't that what everybody wants? Isn't that truly what you want?
Yes, true.
So if you have a particular pathology, you have an addiction of the food, because the food is an addiction.
Right.
So where do you go? It's psychological. We live in our head. So you have to change those thoughts. I'm not going to say you don't want to do the work.
Right.
Oh, no.
Right.
I'm not saying you don't want to do the work, because I have to turn the mirror around and look at myself like, okay, what's the work?
Right. What's the work?
But it is breaking the habit. Breaking the habit of the way we think, breaking the habit of the way we live, breaking the habit of what we eat, and really do the things that are needed. But breaking that habit, so easily can be said. But it's an addiction. That takes it to another level. It's an addiction that we don't even realize ourselves, because we eat for gratification. We want to pretend like, now we fool ourselves when we play games, and all of us do with ourselves. We want to pretend like, I eat healthy. And remember the trend word, I right? Of Jesus, but. No, it's really understanding, because I jumped. I know it's scattered.
It's all right.
But wait, what do you do now? What is everybody doing? What is the trend? You want to make food to take the place of the meat, the dead animal that's maggots. Everything is taking the place of the meat. Wait a minute. That means you didn't leave the meat.
Right.
You just, what's going to take the place? Like, they want to know what's going to take the place of egg. Egg, if you take an egg and you throw it on a car, it takes the paint off.
That's right. It does.
So now what happens inside your body? So I can't say to a client, what can I do in the place of egg? Because all I think of it is poison.
Yes.
So in changing and making these changes, as you said, do the work to make it a little bit easier. And one of the first steps is to break the habit. It's to break the habit.
Now, you know,
and to understand its addiction, because you go back and you continue to eat it. You want an egg replacer, you want a meat replacer.
Yep. That's true. And you know, and let me give that a round of applause because Ma's dropping some heavy wisdom, family. And please go to her website, thefigtreehg.com. That's thefigtreehg.com, where you can get the Maya, you can get all of the products, even sign up for a consultation. They got the 1-800 number up there. Matter of fact, I'm going to put this 1-800 on the board because that 1-800 works. So I want to make sure you have it. Now, Ma, with people that, you know, families that have young people, a lot of the people find it hard to, you know, coax their children into it. I know it's usually better to start them off from a child before they get into all of, you know, what when they start getting to their palates start getting curious. But what do you say to parents that are breastfeeding or want to put their child on any type of diet to keep them healthy? What do you say to the children? How did you handle your children back in the day when you was raising them and all that, and how they should happen down in this day and time?
Oh, well, they say I was cruel.
They say you was cruel. Oh.
52, 42, and 46. So they're grown.
They're grown now.
And way back then, when they were little, we were doing more fasting than anything. Silent fast, fasting eating. And we only ate raw, and we only ate once a day.
Wow. Oh.
And this is way back. So, you know, 52, you know, we're talking about 50 years ago.
Wow. Yes. Wow.
So you know that we started a long time ago. But I still did little things to make them have fun. I would make pizza.
Oh, see?
And it wasn't any alternative cheese, but I'd make the sauce so good and the sauteed vegetables so good that they really loved it. They loved it. And then it was on spelt bread. But now they got alternative cheese that you could do.
Right.
And they got all these other alternatives I had to do from scratch. Like I would make something out of sesame seeds. Because we were raw.
That's
so
right. That's
it
right.
was sea soup. But it wasn't cooked.
Sea moss soup. That's funny. Wow.
And the sesame seed, I grind it up, and that's how I would saute it like the way you know quinoa.
Yes.
But remember, way back then, 50 years ago, quinoa wasn't popular.
That's right. It wasn't popular. You know. Some people.
I starved them. That's what I did.
You starved them, but I mean that was back then. But that was back then. What do you suggest for your clients now with children? Because some people are asking how to take the Patrice, make sure you go to the website. You can find out about the liquid iron, which is the Maya. Make sure you go to the website because she's asking about that right now. The liquid Maya, the iron, because she got liquid. They're asking if you have liquid or capsule. Do you have liquid and capsule or just liquid?
Both.
Oh, she got okay. Okay, she got capsules and liquid. Okay, so you all right.
And that Maya does so much more. It's 1,000 things. It really, from dizziness, because it allows the oxygen to flow. It really, Sisa always said when he was little, it's magic.
It's magic.
And for everything, the mold was on the wall, and I was dizzy and delirious, and all I did was take the Maya. Children that are weak, but those are special cases too. That's the spleen. But the Maya, for the children, the Maya, that is like their multi-vitamin.
Good.
And understand vitamins is synthetic. So the Maya is going to electrify the cells and give you energy and give you all the nutrients of the body that's needed because everything feeds off the blood.
Right. That's right. You know.
But back to the question with the children.
Yes. Go ahead.
today is, depending on what age, because it's sea moss, and you have to get the real sea moss.
Yes.
And Sebi and I talked about the sea moss from long ago. But don't start feeding the children if they're a baby. I breastfed Sasad till he was 4.
Oh, you breastfed him till
children.
Wow.
All my children were born at home. I had Sasad standing up, and all of them breastfed until they were 3 and 4.
Wow. Wow.
So no, let them come off. But the sea moss is one. Making it a formula if you have to do a formula. And you could go into quinoa, like cook the quinoa and then blend it so they have substance. And the fruit, to start off the babies with fruit, then the real fruit with seeds. And then as they grow a little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit at a time, you start introducing the body to vegetables. And I assume that they're not doing baby food, but you could steam any vegetable, blend it, and make it really tasty.
Right.
Now, that's one stage. That's when you leave the breast.
Right. Right.
And you go to that stage. Now, when they get older, that's when the pizza come in.
That's when the pizza come in.
But you could do.
You're funny.
You could do like zucchini. You can make that like French fries. You could do green banana. You can make that like French fries. And you can make the food tasty. Don't make it bland.
Right.
So
yes.
Teenagers, they like, what do they like? I just know they like pizza and French fries.
Right.
And there's all kinds of things that you could do to replace the French fries and the pizza.
Someone's
especially now.
Someone is asking, what's the difference between the classic Maya and the Maya Light?
The classic Maya and the Maya Light. Oh, the Maya Light doesn't have the molasses in there.
Oh, it doesn't have the molasses in the Maya Light. Okay, the Maya Light. The classic one is without molasses is the classic one. No, with the light. The light. Maya Light is without molasses, and the classic is the one that has the molasses. Somebody just asked.
It's just a little bit.
Okay. Somebody asks also. Can people obtain and where if they can obtain the original Sebi products or purchase? Well, you used to make all the original stuff. You have all the original formulas, correct?
I don't understand that.
I guess they're talking about the original.
I don't understand that question.
I think the original.
Sebi and I were married 30 years.
Exactly. I was married.
Sebi was a steam engineer.
Right.
When we came together, and I was cooking. This is not the ego. This is just so you
was doing it. Yeah. So much. Yeah, go ahead.
So he was traveling all over. That's how you know Sebi.
Right.
And giving speeches. So while he was traveling, he was cooking herbs.
Exactly. so let's get it straight. While Sebi was traveling, this woman was making the herbs and blending the blends. Please, they was married for 30 years. Let's get it right.
It started such a long time ago.
Yes.
It says, I think on the thing 70, but we are 71. I don't know which time frame it said. But we started way before then because Sebi and I used to travel and collect the herbs, and people would come and we put it in bottles. They'd bring it bottles, and they would take it home, and they'd come and talk about how the lady was paralyzed. The lady's throat was closing. The man that was blind, the man came from Spain. So that's long before. Well, I don't know, depending on what age group. But it's long before.
Long before us.
Or born. I think long before they were even born. And it's so much more. It's not just an herb. it's understanding the body and putting the two together. So we're coming from a place of pureness, authentically. And I think that people should really come, no judgment, no, I send love.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's right.
But really come from an authentic place, meaning it's so much more.
Right.
We didn't just go and pick this herb and say it's good. We studied the body. We studied the disease.
Right.
We sat and Sebi used to turn the pages, and we talk about each one of those pages.
That's right.
Really get to understand the body and put the two together.
Right.
Not just go take this herb.
That's right.
What, like pharmacy.
That's right. That's right. I mean, you know, you've put in the work, and I just want to say to people, her 1-800 number is 800-998-5909. That's 1-800-998-5909. The website is thefigtreehg.com. She still does consultation. People are asking, the consultation, does she still? Yes, she has. Your consultation list must be way out there, huh, Ma? Mom be getting it in, yeah. How's that going? Everybody's all right. Everybody's still doing their thing. They coming to you and they doing their thing. I know they lined up for you,
yeah.
Mom.
A lot of people came during the 2020.
Yeah.
And
right.
But still, a lot of people thought we were closed. We never closed. We never stopped. But I created this formula.
Yes.
Through the message of Sebi.
Yes.
I'm not taking all the credit.
I remember.
But this special formula for during that time, 2020, it's HC21. But it's so good for the lungs. And what happened was the lungs was overflowing with mucus.
Right.
And then when you put you on this machine, you die.
Yeah. Right.
That sounds so hard.
That is crazy. Yes.
Politically correct word to say, but that machine was too much. But the point was, this is a foreign agent. Any one of them, HIV, HPV, COVID, stomach virus, they're all virus. Well, this is something foreign entering the body. This particular one was breaking down the mucous membrane in the lung area, so your lungs were overflowing. It was full of mucus. What they call inflammation now.
Right.
But anyway, the HC21 is cleaning that mucus out. And so rather we're in this crisis, which we are, it's lingering on, but for asthma and all the respiratory areas and the inflammation, because we eat nothing but mucus building foods. So this HC21 clears it out.
Yes.
And balance.
As soon as you told me about it, I got 2 of them, so I know what it is. As soon as you told me about it.
You know what it feels. Okay, you can give the testimony.
I could give the testimony because I had moved to Georgia, so I knew I had to do that, and I was traveling also, so I knew I had to get it. But you know, I'm not gonna.
Yes, your seal.
Yes. You know, but one more. Somebody wanted to apologize. They didn't mean to insult you by asking that question. It's all right. They don't worry about it, Miss Leno. She's not insulted.
It's all laughter. No,
it's all love. It's all love. It's all love. It's all love.
What was the question? I already forgot.
Oh, that was the one. That was the one when she asked about the original products. And you said you was there with Sebi for 30 years. So that's you already covered that. It was good because you was doing it while he was traveling. You was the one that you was doing all of it. Like I said, when I first brought you on, he would say Pachamama and Ma'a. That was the one. That's like Mother Nature and Ma. That's how he said it. And I don't want to take up too much time, but I appreciate you coming on, Ma. Do you have any special message you want to leave with the audience right now? Please, let's give them that message, please. Go ahead.
It's about love. That's the message that Sebi was bringing.
Yes.
It's about love and really caring for yourself, caring for each other.
Yes.
We're still battling with each other. The paradigm has changed. It has changed. The planet has shifted, and it's time for you to change. And that change is really caring. You're not going to eat poison food and destructive food that's going to compromise your body if you love yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's to understand this food and the damage that it's doing, the GMO and the hybrids, but it is more than just the food. It is what you think. And what you think is what you feel.
Yes.
And to really stop and be still. Let go of the machinery and the devices. We all have them, but be silent.
Yes.
Just let go of all of that and just really create. Create, not just the mechanics of it all that we live in. Let that go for just a minute. Let the iPad go and all the other devices, the TV, and just be silent.
Right.
And feel the love of you. And always, every day, give something. Just a smile. What did you give today?
Right. That's right. Giving a smile. You hear what she said. Giving a smile, caring for other people. That's really what what the healing is all based on, is love. Remember what she says. It's all based on LOVE. Spell it backward. It's evolve. Evolve.
Oh yeah.
You get some love.
That is so true. Evolve. That was Sebi. Forever evolving.
Forever evolving.
Forever growing.
And he's now at a higher level.
Let's drink water today. Let's drink, because we don't drink enough water.
Yes.
Let's drink water today and say, Sebi, we love you. And we are going to carry the legacy on, because it's the people that's going to carry this legacy on that they want to kill.
Yes.
Because we make the legacy.
Yes. Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mom, for coming on. Thank you so much. I love you. I love you. I love you. And there's nothing you can do with it.
And I love each and every one of you.
Yes, ma'am. They all showing their love to you right now. People, much love from Dominica. Big up to Dominica. Big up to, of course, people from the Bronx. And Miss Lino's in the building. Monique from Nicholas. I'm gonna have a contact set aside if you want to do something at Nicholas again. That would be lovely. But I'll definitely come to do that and help you out if that's But I love you, Mom, and give yourself a big hug. I'm hugging you right now, but give yourself a big hug and for me. I'm giving you a hug, Ma. I love you, man. And our birthdays is right there around. Hers is the 29th and mine is February 1st. Hers is January 29th, mine is February 1st. So we right there. We always text each other for our birthday. So I love you. I love you, Ma. Take care.
I love you.
Thank you.
All right,
thank you.
Care.
All right.
Enjoy all the gifts of life.
Yes, Ma. Thank you, Ma. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. Bye-bye. That was the great Ma Bowman, man. Oh, man, that was so beautiful. Tears is in my eyes. Y'all don't even know. My eyes it's only because I'm wearing the blue blockers here, thanks to KT and everybody. When you have people like Ma in the building, man, it's nothing but love. If you watched all the lectures that I put out, I got like 2 lectures and interviews on with Ma, and she's nothing but love. Born under that 29 energy, that's a loving energy that came here to bring love to the world. Michael Jackson was born under that 29. Oprah was born under that 29. Chadwick was born under that 29. That 29 energy is here really to bring love. As long as they stay in tune with what's going on. And she has been in tune with this healing journey for 50 years, over 50 years, to tell you the truth. Because they've been doing it for a long time. And like he said, she was married to Sebi for 30 years, Dr. Sebi for 30 years. So she was cooking up that food and cooking up those herbs and all that kind of stuff and living raw with that man for a long time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I hear about everybody else and the extra marriages and all that, and respect to all of them, respect to all of the wives of Dr. Sebi. But this one here that I just had on, that I've been showing pictures of, Ma Bowman, This was me and Ma at Nicholas one time. Nicholas, Brooklyn, the original Nicholas, downtown Brooklyn. This was the one downtown Brooklyn at 506, 507 Fulton Street. This is where this picture was taken. But go to her website. You can do a consultation with her. You can get all the herbs, the Maya Plus, the Maya Light, the Maya. You can get all of the sea moss as long as it's all in the stock, because they try to go get the original stuff. And of course, here's a picture with Ma just chilling out, traveling. She loved to travel, lecturing, of course. I think that was one of the lectures I produced also. And no, that's not one of the lectures. She was speaking somewhere. I think she was speaking at the house at her loft at that time, but she used to teach at the loft. And also, this is Mr. G, Nick Cannon with Ma while they was filming, I think, the Dr. Sebi documentary that's supposed to be coming out. I don't know when Nick is, so don't ask me when Nick is doing it. This is me and Dr. Sebi at that church, St. Anthony's Baptist Church in 2009. I'm going to play the rest of that lecture before we come down. Before we leave here, I'm going to play a few of it. But I hope y'all enjoyed what we offered. I want to thank Blue Pill for coming on. I want to thank Mama Ella for coming on. I want to thank, of course, Dr. Patah for coming on. So we had man, woman, man, and we completed it with the woman, because the woman is the foundation of this nurturing energy. And y'all got to respect the women for their nurturing energy. Brothers, sisters, sometimes sisters are trying to become brothers and vice versa. But look here, man. We got to bring this balance back to the world, man, and stop playing around with it. But I want to thank each and every one of y'all that came on. We just had, hey, big up to Mikey Jarrett, the reggae artist himself. Big up to Mikey Jarrett. We just had Dr. Sebi's wife on. She's in Brooklyn. So if y'all want to support Ma'a, she's in Brooklyn. Y'all can actually go down. Let me put her number, everything else. Hold on. Let me put her website and her phone number to Fig Tree. This is we just had her on. Those that missed it, y'all can tune in and rewind this. We just had Dr. Patah on, who was a part of that whole thing back in the day with Dr. Sebi, right there down on Fulton, right there on Flatbush Avenue, right where the Barclay was. That's where Dr. Sebi's office and their office was at that time. Fig Tree was there. They had the Goon, they had Oshun, they have the compound in Honduras that's named after the daughter of Ma'a and Sebi also. Y'all got to remember that compound is named after the daughter of Ma'a and Sebi. All right, the village. So enough respect to those two that did the work, man. And all the children and all the relatives that are doing or attempting to do the same work, there will not be another Sebi. Let's get that straight. I don't care who's out there. There will not be another Sebi. There will not be another Dr. Africa. There will not be another Queen of Fool when she transitioned. There will not be another Ma'a when they transition. All of you out there have to do your own journey. Take your own journey. I won't say work. Take your own journey and do your thing. Do your thing. I love what Mama Ella is doing. I love what Malika is doing. I love what Kafunya and them is doing. I love what everybody is doing on their own. But at the end of the day, it's about what she said earlier, what Ma'a said. She said, loving yourself and spreading that love. But it starts with self. All right? So family, we had a good time. We had Ma on here. Y'all thought I couldn't do it. I know she didn't cam up, but it's all good. I'm glad she just wanted to be there. But let me play some of this Dr. Sebi lecture that he did for me back in the day. And we're going to put that on right now. And so let's do it. Let's bring on Dr. Sebi real quick. I want to close out with some Dr. Sebi real quick. This was at the big thing that we did at St. Anthony's Baptist Church on Utica Avenue and Empire Boulevard. This was 2009. It was my 14th celebration and promotion and production. It was on November the 14th, 2009. It was Red Pill and Blue Pill's birthday, and we just had a great time. So I'm going to close out with Dr. Sebi. Want to thank each and every one of y'all for tuning in and locking in and showing love. Watch this clip. If you ain't get to watch it, it is on my YouTube channel. But if you get to watch just some of this clip that I'm putting on, it's just a little bit. But I'm gonna make sure we show some love for Dr. Sebi. Let him talk on out of here. He would be celebrating his 90th birthday today. Dr. Sebi, we salute you. We love your energy. We love the energy that you've imparted upon all of the great women, all of the great children, all of the great families of the world, both black, white, Chinese, and all creeds and colors. They came to Dr. Sebi and showed some love. Believe that when I say that. All right. All right, family. Have a great day, afternoon, and evening. I leave you in the hands of Dr. Sebi for the next probably 5-10 minutes. All right. Peace and love.
Because Michael Jackson's son, oldest son Omar, mother is named Helga from Norway, and she came to Orlando, and Michael Jackson told me that Helga was sick. I didn't know what Helga had. She was covered from head to foot. I told the nurse to give the woman the compounds as is prescribed, and she did. 4 days later, the very next day, I'm going to do something stupid. I go up to see my patient, but I don't see my patient. There's a woman sitting on the bed. So I asked her, I said, pardon me, man, where is the other woman from Norway? She said, there are no other woman. I am the woman from Norway. Wow. The compound did such. She's sitting on the bed. I didn't expect that. She looked different. 3 days later, Michael Jackson come running down to tell me, Helga is walking. I say, Helga is walking? He said, yes. I said, well, that's normal. No, Sebi. She's been in a wheelchair for 5 years in Norway. She came in a wheelchair paralyzed for 5 years. And guess what Helga told me? She came out and she hugged me with tears in her eyes. And she said, I have been in menopause for 5 years, as long as I have been in a wheelchair. And my period came down today. After 5 years of menopause. Then, Michael Jackson's son, which is Omar, I used to call him Mikey, he had a tumor in his head. I had gone to Africa, to Namibia, and I came back with a group of herbs. One of them was named Sia. It's white like milk, but it's fluffy. I said, I put some in a bag, and I told Mikey to inhale. He inhaled, and he sneezed 52 times, and by the time he got to the door, he passed the tumor out of his nose. Michael Jackson, babysitter, compromised the man that I had so much faith in, and so much everything is good, and maybe you do. But this man is a man that I'm going to mention that has offended the black race, and many other races too, but especially ours. I went to see Mr. Teddy Pendergrass because he was paralyzed from his neck down. I was not looking at his paralysis, I was looking at his stomach. He had a great big stomach. And they asked me, Glenda Garcia asked me, why are you looking at his stomach? We are talking about his arms and his legs and his moving his neck. He was a C4, he couldn't do anything. At the ending of 2 months, Teddy and something the Russian doctor said he would never do again in his life. I told Mr. Teddy Pendergrass, you paid the doctors $275,000 and they have you paralyzed. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to charge you half that price, but when I get to your waistline, that everything is moving except your legs, you're going to give me half my money. He said, okay. When I'm looking for me, I didn't want anyone to see me. I was kind of tired. I was working very hard then, running from Chicago to New York to Honduras and back to Puerto Rico. Oh God, he was heavy on me. And then I had 3 wives. That was even worse. I'm in St. Thomas, enjoying myself. And I got this phone. So now how could someone be calling me? No, I'm not too satisfied with that phone call because I don't want anyone talking to me. I want to spend a week without anyone speaking to me. I don't want to talk. I pick up the phone. Here's Teddy Pendergrass. Yes? Well, you better come to Philadelphia because the bottom of my feet is hurting me and I want to know why. I said, why? The bottom of your feet is hurting you. I went to Philadelphia. But when I got to Philadelphia, now remember, I just jumped from Michael Jackson babysitter onto Teddy Pendergrass, and you will see the connection. I got to Philadelphia that night, to his house that night, I mean. But there's some dark spots in his house, and there is a man sitting in the dark. This man that's sitting in the dark asked me, why did I remove eggs, butter, cheese, meat, starch from Teddy's diet? I said, what did you ask? Why did I remove eggs and meat and blood from his diet? Starches? I said, sir, do you have any knowledge or understanding of cell food consistency? I said, well, if you don't have that understanding of science, but I'm going to help you with it. I still haven't seen his face. He's in the dark. So, I said, you only have to go to a zoo and look at a zookeeper. He does not feed the gorilla the same food he feeds the polar bear. He does not feed the eagle the same food he feeds the sparrow. The eagle eats meat and blood, not the hummingbird or the sparrow. They eat nectar and seeds. So genes and food has a consistency. Are you telling me, sir, and I can't see the man, that Mr. Teddy Pendergrass, being of an African gene, that he is allowed to eat eggs and milk, cheese, butter, and... Is that what you're telling me, sir? But I could never see the man's face. And you guys are gonna be surprised who the man in the dark was. Oh my God. When I got outside, Philip and Paul, that you guys may know who helped to put this affair, who helped to make it what it is, Philip and Paul, mother named Annette Thomas, she said to me, you know who the man in the dark was? I said, who? Mr. Deepak Chopra.
Wow.
Now you're going to see the connection with Michael Jackson, babysitter, and the man in the dark. When Grace Rwanda saw that Mikey was cured, tumors of his nose, Heather was walking, Michael, well, if you all remember, Michael jumped up on the SUV, and who you think was with him then? Where did he get that energy? She said, I have lupus for 9 years. And I have pain for 9 years. On the 4th day, the pain was gone. And the 2nd month, the lupus was gone. And who was treating this woman for 9 years? The man in the dark. And I'm writing a book about the man in the dark.